of the most anticipated female bare-knuckle fights in Violence Championship. On one side, we have Chris.
This was can't stretch her out. Front elbows from the bottom.
They came in loud, chest out, convinced the fight was already won before the first punch was ever thrown. Swagger filled the stare-downs, disrespect spilled across face-offs, and gestures were made that were meant to intimidate, humiliate, or outright mock the person standing across from them.
These ladies are playing tonight.
But the moment the bell rang, reality did what it always does in combat sports. It stripped away the bravado and replaced it with consequences. This is the line where confidence crosses into overconfidence, and where words stop mattering. It starts early, with moments that feel almost cinematic in hindsight.
Right to the bell.
My goodness.
Fighters shoving at face-offs, flashing middle fingers, making kill gestures, bow and arrow motions, kisses meant to mock, not charm. Each one believed they were sending a message. What they didn't realize was that they were writing a check their skills couldn't cash. Once the fight began, the tone changed fast. Hands landed cleaner. Defense cracked. Panic crept in. And the cameras caught every second of it. Jamie Driver didn't need much time to answer Adriana Vukovic's disrespect. After the shove at the face-off, the fight itself barely lasted long enough to feel real. Driver's dirty boxing and pressure overwhelmed Vukovic immediately, exposing her lack of composure under fire. It wasn't dramatic. It was decisive. Less than 30 seconds was all it took for Swagger to collapse into survival mode. Kira Batara faced a different kind of arrogance from Vanessa Fernandez, who tried to bully her with aggression and early pressure. Vanessa came out swinging, leaning on intensity and intimidation, but Kira absorbed it all without flinching. The harder Vanessa tried, the calmer Kira became. As the fight settled, technique and grit took over. Ground control, elbows, relentless pressure, and finally an armbar forced the tap. The early storm meant nothing once the fight went deep, and Kira walked away having proven that intimidation only works when it's backed by substance. Cristina Faria has seen it all, but even by her standards, Jessica Borga's antics crossed a line. Pushing, middle fingers, profanity thrown directly at the champion. The first round was chaos, both women trading like there was no tomorrow, but round 2 told the real story. Faria timed a brutal right hand that shut everything down in an instant. One punch erased all the talk. The belt stayed where it belonged. In Muay Thai, Maria Eduardo faced Daniela Miranda, who tried to predict her own kill shot before the fight even started. Maria responded the only way that matters. Elbows sliced through Miranda's defense again and again, pressure never easing, combinations piling up until the referee had no choice but to intervene. Humility met discipline, and discipline won. Sometimes, the humbling is almost embarrassing. Lucina Drina tried to physically bully Regina Labaya at the face-off, leaning on a massive size advantage and intimidation tactics. Once the fight began, the illusion shattered. Drina stumbled, fell over herself, and failed to land anything meaningful. Regina barely needed offense to win. The intimidation act collapsed under its own weight. Even at the highest levels, ego can slip through the cracks. Angela Lee entered her bout with Xiong Jing Nan with visible confidence, even bumping her at the face-off. The fight itself was competitive, intense, and physical, but Xiong landed cleaner, sharper shots throughout. Angela celebrated early, convinced she had done enough. When the decision was read, the realization hit hard. Confidence doesn't sway judges. Damage does. Trash talk echoed loudly when Francois Cruz-Dezern went after Savannah Marshall, promising pain and dominance. But inside the ring, Marshall's precision told a different story. Cleaner shots, better timing, and composure under pressure earned her the victory and the belts. The words faded. The result didn't. Some moments are quieter but no less telling. A rude gesture at a face-off, a refusal to touch gloves, a mocking smile. Over and over, the pattern repeated. Fighters who stayed calm, technical, and patient slowly broke down opponents who relied on theatrics. Clarissa Shields did it repeatedly, against Savannah Marshall, Ivana Habazin, and Daniela Perkins. Promises of knockouts and mockery at weigh-ins meant nothing once Shields took control of the ring. Round after round, she dictated the pace and left no doubt. Then there are the moments that feel almost surreal. A kiss at a face-off followed by a swift knockout. Fake blood and oversized scissors at a weigh-in followed by a methodical loss. A challenge screamed at Gabby Garcia that ended exactly how anyone with common sense expected. These weren't misunderstandings. They were lessons, delivered brutally and publicly. By the time the final bell rang on the last fight, the theme was impossible to ignore. Combat sports don't care about your confidence, your trash talk, or your social media moments. They reward preparation, composure, and execution. Every fighter who walked in believing hype alone would carry them walked out with a harsh reminder of what this game really demands. And that's the real takeaway here. Confidence is powerful, but overconfidence is dangerous. Every face-off is just theater. The truth always comes out when the cage door shuts and the gloves touch. If you've made it this far, let me know what you think. Which moment stood out to you the most? And which fighter do you think learned the hardest lesson? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoy deep dive fight breakdowns like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more stories where the talk stops and reality takes over.